Thanks for joining us. Now, President Bola Tinubu's efforts to improve the socio and economic situation of Nigeria has received another recognition as a famous Islamic scholar, Mufti Ismail Ibn Musa Menk, has commended the Nigerian leader for his commitment towards building a new Nigeria. The Zimbabwean scholar and his team were at the State House on a courtesy visit to President Tinubu. Will bring you details of that report in our subsequent bulletin. Now, Russia's invasion of Ukraine has been more concentrated on Kyiv, leaving out the provinces. This fact was established by the Ukrainian Defense Agency. Kolo Mohammed reports.
In the last couple of weeks, Kyiv, Ukraine's capital city, came under the heaviest attack since the invasion by Russia. Reports say military, police and other experts kept the fragments of downed Russian drones. Security agencies said they downed 71 drones targeted at Kyiv from Moscow. President Vladimir Zelensky pointed out that the attack had come in the early hours of the day when Ukrainians commiserate their worst national tragedy, the 1932-33 Holodomor famine, in which several millions of people starved to death. Air Force Chief Mykola Oleshchuk praised the effectiveness of the mobile fire units, usually fast pickup trucks with a machine gun or flat cannon mounted on their flatbed. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko on Telegram said the attack had injured 5 people, including an 11-year-old girl, and damaged buildings in districts across the city.
And especially forgive the horrific crimes of genocide that the Ukrainian people experienced in the 20th century.
While stock taking of damage by drones are being taken, no fatality has been reported. Kolo Muhammad, NTA News.
And following intervention of President Bola Tinubu, the Ondo State All Progressives Congress, stakeholders have agreed to reunite as the State Deputy Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa pledged to close rank with his principal, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. State House correspondent Musba Nawahab reports that it took the president more than 4 hours to mediate between the two to come to a truce.
The relationship that began as a marriage of necessity between Governor Rotimi Akeredolu and his chosen running mate Lucky Ayedatiwa in 2020 went toxic upon the return of the governor from his medical trip earlier in the year. Observers have watched as the grasses of governance and development have suffered the consequences while the two elephants in the state battled for supremacy. But this situation is apparently unacceptable to the party leader. And here, President Bola Tinubu would demonstrate his political prowess and dedication to democratic principles as he brokered peace between the two warring parties. The president began the meeting marathon at the State House, spanning hours late Friday night with a delegation from the state led by the state APC chairman Ade Adetimehi. But that was only preparatory to a larger meeting. It continued into the night with a combined meeting involving the state deputy governor Lucky Ayedatiwa and other leaders. And after hours of dialogue behind closed doors, the goal-getter has recorded a landmark peaceful ending with commitment from the stakeholders.
I pledge to all of you that I embrace every one of you. I put behind all that has happened before now. I've let go and I've also let God. And everything that we do, we work together. The executive and the legislature will all work together to ensure that governance is on the right track.
The president also elicited amicable resolutions that will ensure return of food peace that has been scarce among the parties.
Our resolution is that we should embrace peace. Secondly, dissolution of the cabinet, and then and the Deputy Governor should maintain status quo, and the leadership of the State Assembly that we should also maintain status quo as far as the leadership of the House of Assembly is concerned.
We have resolved to throw the path of peace. Ondo State is greater than any one of us. The development of Ondo State is germane to us.
And I can show you peace will return with this, your pronouncement, your decision. We thank you, we appreciate you.
It's a good journey.
Yes.
Very successful. It's left in your hands now as leaders. Majority. May God bless all of you.
Amen.
And so, the stakeholders returned fulfilled with a renewed hope that the sun will shine again in the political arena of Ondo State. From the State House, Musbal, Dan Wahab, NTA News.
In other news, China ambassador to Nigeria, Q Yang-chun, says Nigeria has strategic interest in the areas of Nigeria's economic cooperation and military development. He stated these while on a working visit to the Ministry of Defense. The Minister of sharing and military training in its quest to tackle insecurity.
Our president understand the need and the requirement of private sector and the need to protect private businesses, and he will do everything possible to give the right enabling environment for private sector to prosper.
So the Minister of Steel Development, Shaibu Abakar Audu, was in the Defense Ministry to deliberate on the revitalization of the Ajakuta steel plant.
We can put a joint proposal to the Federal Executive Council to say that we also want to revive another production unit, another production plant within Ajakuta that will be dedicated to enabling us to produce those military hardwares that are required.
The meeting will set the stage for the revitalization of the Ajakuta steel plant and the production of military hardware. A global ecosystem have continued to be altered negatively due to climate change issues, particularly global warming. Owing to this, the UN chief and president of Chile were at a German research station at Antarctica. Kolo Mohammed reports on this.
On a 3-day tour of the icy continent aimed at witnessing firsthand the deadly impact of climate crisis, global warming in particular is melting global ice at a rate that puts the substantial part of the globe in grave danger regarding flooding, where residential and farmlands are going under, leaving communities with migration as a last resort, giving rise to further insecurity about food and shelter.
Present trends are racing our planet down a dead-end 3-degree temperature rise. In short, the report shows that the emissions gap is more like an emissions canyon. A canyon littered with broken promises, broken lives, and broken records. All of this is a failure of leadership, a betrayal of the vulnerable, and a massive missed opportunity.
The crisis is said to have endangered most species of animals, driving a few into extinction, depleting the demographic strength of living things needed to balance the global ecosystems for life's livability. Kolo Muhammad, NTA News.
The federal government is implementing policies and programs towards partial commercialization of river basins to create more wealth and employment opportunities among the teeming youths in the country. Minister of State for Water Resources and Sanitation, Bello Mohammed Goronyo, disclosed this while on a courtesy call to the governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Umaru Fintiri, at the government house in Yola.
representation that we are on ground and we are following every bit of contract we have awarded, and we're making sure that that contract is completed and delivered to the Nigerian people. So I summoned the contractor. And
Usman Zubairi reports that the visit is part of efforts to seek synergy with states for the nation to achieve its agenda of sustainable development goals. Number 6, access to clean water, sanitation, and ending hunger as well as poverty. A synergy between all directorates of the Nigerian Television Authority is an oil that will lubricate the wheel of progress for the News Directorate to excel. This was pointed out at the just concluded News Management Conference in Abuja. And Adebola Brooksling brings us details of the conference.
The News Directorate may appear to be the face of any television station. The synergy that exists among all directorates is most important in actualizing the organization's mandates. This is not negotiable as the present leadership of the NTA is working together as a team under the able leadership of the Director General, Saliu Abdulhamid Dembos.
Finance and News Directorate, we should synergize, especially the news personnel shall always inform or enlighten our staff of finance what constitutes LTP.
The main thing is news, reporting, LTPs, the commercial scene on news, and if you watch out, you see that our clients, that's where they want to be. So because of that, please, as you go back to your stations, do remember what is called LTPs and what you can cover free.
I must commend News Directorate also for embracing new trends in communication, which has taken NTA to a higher level of prominence and relevance in broadcasting.
Whatever you are going to gather here, when you go back to your zones and station, please pass it to your subordinates so that they can learn more.
The DG is emphatic in his resolve to equip the staff.
We provided additional TV packs and KiloView sets for live reports, upgraded and equipped Studio B in Jagal, provide additional cameras, teleprompters, computers and vMix and other facilities that not only gave us the options but also eased the work and brought out creativity that made our screens beautiful.
The News Management Conference is the third in the series. Adebola Brooksling, NTA News.
We're live in Abuja. More stories ahead. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Let's take you back to our earlier story on the meeting between President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and a Zimbabwean scholar, Mufti Ismail Ibn Musa, who commended the Nigerian leader for his commitment towards building a new Nigeria.
The Grand Mufti of Zimbabwe's Muslim community was led to the State House by the Emir of One Ummah, Abubakar Muhammad. The international Islamic scholar is in Nigeria for Peace and Unity Convention, but chose to honor the president with this visit. He appears to have been following the situation in Nigeria and indeed the progress of President Bola Tinubu over the years.
I was very touched by your leadership in Lagos when I know that you have built so many young men and women who have come up to date because you built them. So this is a true quality of leadership. I also recall in this previous election, I knew deep down that this, meaning Your Excellency, this person is going to win. And the reason is A, B, and C. They have proven themselves, they have done it. Cut a long story short, when people ask me, where is your favorite country? I am on record as having said Nigeria. They wonder why.
Evidently passionate about Nigeria, the scholar also prayed for the Nigerian leader to succeed in his mission to take the country to higher heights.
I pray that the Almighty continue to guide you to make the best decisions for the nation and for the globe at large.
Every one of us here understand the chaos going on around the world. We need prayers. We need love and understanding among one another. I thank you for your prayers, inspiration, and commitment to see even Nigeria as a different country.
After the meeting, the scholar also shared with State House correspondents the need for Nigerians to live together in harmony and respect one another despite their different faiths and backgrounds in order to witness the success of a nation.
The leadership that we have, we should appreciate it, we should acknowledge it, we should understand that if we are going to respect our leadership, we will be able to achieve as a nation. If you look at the countries that have failed, it's because they don't respect their leadership and they actually fail as a result. But if we are going to rally behind the leadership and ensure that every one of us contributes positively to this nation, Nigeria can be the best nation in Africa.
Mufti Menk has carved a niche for himself internationally as an Islamic and motivational speaker. From the State House, Musbal and Wahab, NTA News.
The 9th Ordinary Session of the Pan-African Council of Ministers of Great Green Wall has ended in Abuja with the launch of Green Women Platform initiative by wife of the President, Oluremi Tinubu. Charles Alpha reports that the platform is expected to achieve goals of the Great Green Wall for sustainable and resilient future for Africa with women at the forefront.
The 8th session of this meeting had far-reaching effects coming on the heels of strong commitments and the relentless efforts of member states of the Council of Ministers of the Pan-African Great Green Wall to attain a sustainable and healthy environment within the African region. This year, the Green Women Platform, launched by Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, was deemed another milestone in an effort to empower women living within the Great Green Wall region in the fight against climate change.
The Green Women Platform initiatives seeks to provide a dedicated platform for women to contribute to the broader objectives of the Great Green Wall.
The plan, which is hinged on sustainable land management, aimed at meeting up with the deadline of the UN decade on ecosystem restoration agenda.
This juncture, I would like to call on member states to collectively work together towards implementing first recommendation of the Pan-African Agency of the Great Green Wall.
Technical committee of experts from all around Africa gathered to scale up efforts towards effective implementation of the Great Green Wall initiative at both regional and national levels, and to come up with concrete documents that would influence informed decision to address the environmental challenges that affect the lives of millions across Africa and indeed the world. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
As the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence begins, the National Council of Women's Society has added its voice to the campaign, urging governments at all levels to add their voice to the campaign, and relevant agencies as well, to create an environment that fosters equality, respect and safety for all. National President NCWS Lami Adamu Lau made this submission while speaking with journalists in Abuja. Deborah Balagbobo reports.
A grave violation of human rights that affects women and girls across all socio-economic backgrounds. Gender-based violence has remained a persistent challenge that demands coordinated action and sustained investment in preventive measures. The theme for this year's campaign, Unite, Invest to Protect Violence Against Women and Girls, serves as a wake-up call for governments, businesses, communities, and all stakeholders to prioritize the allocation of resources towards funding transformation interventions that address gender-based violence.
To demonstrate this commitment,
Nigerian women demand the following: appointment of more women in leadership and decision-making spaces to reduce the huge economic and power gap. National Assembly should review and pass the gender bills, our 5 gender bills that were drawn.
They have taken the right step in the right direction because it is a collective fight. They cannot leave it alone to the ministry. As long as women are continuing to be violated or abused, we will continue to talk.
The Council, in collaboration with development partners, also sensitized all its national officers, state presidents and secretaries, affiliates to serve as trainers on accelerating the eradication of female genital mutilation through campaigns at the grassroots levels.
So we want to use this opportunity to eradicate this dangerous practice in our community, especially at the grassroots.
One of the major public health issues that we have in the country is issues around gender-based violence, and to be specific on this, female genital mutilation. And UNFPA, together with the government of Nigeria, are supporting the response and prevention of the largest global and national program in the country on ending female genital mutilation.
The Council hopes to focus on 5 states of Ekiti, Oyo, Osun, Imo and Ebonyi to further press home the eradication of harmful traditional practices against women and girls. In Abuja, Deborah Balagubo, NTA News.
And building a new Nigeria where unity and purpose remains the watchword has once again been re-echoed as a non-religious and non-political group converged on Abuja to reiterate the essence of one Nigeria. Elizabeth Omori reports that messages of hope, harmony and tolerance dominated discussions. The speakers raised the importance of an indivisible nation.
In the heart of the citizen before it becomes a reality in the Nigeria.
There's absolutely no way you can foster a society with a fragmented and divided allegiance. There's no way a people can cultivate aspiration, incubate division, and nurture a dream profession without commonality of purpose. There must be a commonality of purpose, and that is why we are calling this. There's a new consciousness.
Every single thing that you want to achieve starts with a belief. And when you believe, you work towards it, and you will achieve it.
Talk centered on behavioral change, positive thinking, national value reorientation, and self-development. Carnival is the second in the series designed to unite Nigerians. Our former police officer of the Minneapolis, or rather, let's bring you a story on the federal government that has flagged off the 2023 to 2024 dry season farming activities under the renewed hope food security policy. Under the initiative, farmers will enjoy 50% subsidy on agricultural inputs. Musa Aliu reports that the program was flagged off in Hadeja, Jigawa State.
Agriculturists alongside soil scientists are of the view that irrigation farming, also known as dry season farming, has more advantages compared to rain-fed agriculture. This is the reason the federal government wants to maximize the season to boost agricultural yields and in turn the nation's food security. To ensure this is realized, a 50% discount has been approved on all agricultural inputs, which more than 250,000 farmers will require during the season.
Soil samples were taken across Jigawa State, about 300. Same was taken in Bombay, Sokoto and Kano in order to determine the nutrient status of the soil.
Here, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abba Kyari, is flagging off the planting of crops.
We will progressively invest in irrigation infrastructure projects to optimize water usage and mitigate the challenges posed by the dry season farming.
The dry season farming is expected to take place in all the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. One critical requirement among others is availability of irrigation land for dry season farming by an African Development Bank facility and will be implemented under the National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro Pocket Project. From Hadeja, Jigawa State, Musa Babaliyu, NTA News.
And Musa's report concludes the news at this time. Many thanks for watching. I'm Comfort.